big rookies, two big offensive outputs, two victories in week one, and believe it or not, the Vikings or Lions will be in first place following this game. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz and NFL.com's Pat Kirwan with you on the NFL Preview Show. It's been something I've been waiting to say for a long time. The Lions could be in first place. Of course, though, it's just
Let me help you out.
two.
The Lions are undefeated.
The Lions are undefeated. It sounds great. Could happen that they could be 2-0 after week two. But let's get into the rookies in this situation because Calvin Johnson had a big game against the Raiders, and Adrian Peterson had rookie record for the Vikings. But which one will help his team more here in week two?
I like Adrian Peterson in this game. Now, this is not to say that Calvin's not a great player. He's not going to have a very good day. I think he's going to. But you asked me to pick one, so I'm going to take the running back in this case. When I was in Detroit, I watched this defense work. I thought that running the ball inside against them might be difficult, but running the ball outside and getting the swing route. Brad Childress says it to me every week when I talk to him. This kid can really catch the football. I'm expecting him to expand his role, Adrian's role as a receiver, and they're going to start this week and attack a very weak secondary.
All right, so how do the Lions make Tarvaris Jackson beat them then?
Well, Tarvaris Jackson, you can beat Tarvaris Jackson at this point in his career by forcing this into a one-dimensional game. Get him into pure pass situations. You know the Vikings want to come in here and run the ball 40 times. They don't want to expose their young quarterback. How do you do that? You do what the Bengals would do. You do what the Colts would do. You come out with John Kitna, you get in shotgun, no huddle, and try to get up 14 points as fast as possible and make the Vikings have to play a passing game.
All right, let's talk about John Kitna here because what he did against the Raiders was what you would expect him to do. To come out, throw the ball. He found Sean McDonald. He found Calvin Johnson. He found Roy Williams, not as much as the other guys, but he found them all. He found Mike Furry. What does John Kitna have to do to get them up 14 points?
Well, he's got to do a couple things better than he did last year. Remember, the Vikings weren't considered a very good pass rush team, and they got to sack him 8 times in 2 games, so they're a better pass rush team now. Another conversation I had with Coach Childress this week, very happy with all the young players. Their draft pick, Robinson, Kenichi Udeze had a sack. They're happy that Erasmus James back. They can get upfield better than they did before. The thing I think that Kitna has to do is go no huddle. Get themselves out on the field. He knows exactly what he wants to do. John told me this summer, I sat down with him, I know what Martz wants now. I know where to go with the football. And he made this point, which I'm going to make every week this season. I'm playing on a 60-yard wide field because of the height and the athleticism of Johnson and Roy Williams. So they're going to spread the secondary out both widthwise and vertically. So that's what he should do to get this thing rolling.
And just in case people aren't sure, how wide is a football field actually?
Oh, 53.5 yards,
all right.
54.5 yards. 55.
So he's adding 3 yards to each side. All right, folks,
and he's throwing the ball out of bounds on purpose.
And they're catching it with 2 feet inbounds. All right, folks, we're adding a new part to the previews. It's also mathematical. It's called the AccuScore Prediction. It's a computerized element. It takes everything into account that is not a human element. It runs 10,000 tests, all mathematical. And here's what AccuScore had to say. It said that the Lions, of those 10,000 tests, will win this game 64% of the time. So basically 6,400 tests came up with the Lions on top. Do you agree?
I now know you own the computer. You're a Detroit Lion fan. No. I think the Vikings have a chance to go in here and win this football game. I know, and I'd love to see Detroit get moving here and keep this thing and the momentum of this season going. But I'm going to take the Vikings in that hard-pounding running game and a much-improved defense. And I like when they get to their nickel package, which they could be in quite a bit when they take Lieber out and they bring in the kid from Fresno State, Marcus McCauley, to run their nickel defense. I'm going to take the Vikings in this one.
All right, well, something else the computer doesn't take into account is the fact that the Vikings have won 10 in a row in this series. But, and then this goes back to the thing we made at the top of this segment, it is the first time since 2000 that both teams have come into this game undefeated.
Yeah, and a last point why I'm taking the Vikings, I watched the Raider team down 17 start running the football off tackle, and they found a home running the ball, and that's the tape. That's the stuff that, they can say what they want in game plans. I don't see the Lions having an answer for that.
Yeah, they gave up a 17-0 lead. They did win the game, but they did give up that lead. The NFC North battle begins at 4:05 p.m. Eastern. For more on this one or any other in Week 2, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. For Pat Kirwan, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care.